I know you're lying. I always wanted, like, oh my God, I wanted this bag so much. I've seen it in Japan. That store.
Itch. And let me tell you something. I am just so happy. Halle and Daryl are so happy. He's been so sweet and everything. I fuck with Daryl. I don't care what nobody says. Y'all don't see like behind the scenes. Like, I love them. I really do. Halle came out tonight. I got to see Sis and she brought Daryl and I was really happy to see them. They look so happy. And I'm just so happy that they came. They were so sweet. And I'm just completely grateful.
I just want to know what, how do I word this properly? What somebody else's kids got to do with y'all is what I want to know. I have a confession to make. I've been following for a very long time. I'm such a fan. I'm actually really nervous right now.
One of my favorite Beyonce moments would have to be when we were at the Wearable Art Gala. And Miss Tina asked us to surprise her and sing I Was Here. So I remember walking out and she had like this like surprised look on her face. And when we finished the song, she was crying. And I don't know, it was just really special.
Well, I just kind of ask for her advice and guidance because, you know, she's been through this, being in the spotlight at a young age and everything. But she's just been so supportive of me and my sister and just, she's like that proud auntie that claps for you and you're doing great stuff. So I just love her and I'm really grateful.
I just got cheated on, so I think that's why I wrote the... Who's calling me?
Hey, you want to take it? Who is it?
So...
Wait, so it has to be someone good when you give me a look like that. We did not even be coy about it. Like,
didn't even try to hide it.
Yeah, like you're begging me to ask. Like with that look, you're begging me to pry.
You know, just like certain people will call you and it just puts a smile on your face.
Oh.
Yeah. So anyways, I got cheated on, right?
Is it a guy?
Is it?
They called you?
I don't know.
Not the other guy.
It's a human being.
Okay. Well, sorry to gender them. Is it, well, so, okay, keep going.
So you got cheated on.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about DDG? You like him for your sister? What's good? Because I be like protective over my sister.
Listen,
like,
I am
like,
so protective.
Nigga, you ain't gonna do shit.
I am so protective of my sister.
Yeah.
But seeing how happy she is, I'm happy. Yeah, I told him I had my eye on him. I'm killing you.
As you should.
I told him that. He knows.
Don't leave evidence though.
You know. But yeah, she's happy. She's happy. So as long as she's happy, I'm happy. When I'm hurt, I talk much. It's like a different side of me comes out when I'm really hurt. If I'm comfortable enough with you, you will see that. Mm-hmm. If not, then I will just keep it tucked internally. But I really like how it's saying, I wish you were just honest with me. Like, we could have done this together. No, not really. I'm very territorial. I would not be in a polygamous relationship. But it's like, you could have come to me about this. You could have been honest. We could have gone through this together. Like, we had big life plans. We had things that we were going to go through together. But it's like, you know what? You want to take advantage of that. I might as well go hit somebody else up.
We do not exist in any other instant. Here in this dimension, you and I are meant to be. I have waited lifetimes to find you. Now that you're here, I can remind you of the things you've been dreaming times two. I promise you. If you just give me 24, man, all I need is 24 hours. I promise you want plenty more. You'll probably be waiting for. So how does it sound as on the ground, giving you my love, my love, my love, my love, my love, my love. There's no place quite like here. There's no better time than now. You gotta stay ready. There's no place quite like here.
Chloe Bailey has stirred up a storm, and this time her voice feels different. After staying quiet for years, she's finally speaking about what she went through, and her side of the story paints a picture most people never imagined. To fans, she always seemed confident, glamorous, and in control. But behind the scenes, she says there were boundaries she couldn't cross, deals she didn't fully understand, and expectations that worked against her. The shine people saw on stage didn't match the reality she says she was living, one filled with limits that made her question whether talent even mattered in an industry built on power, image, and silence. People are especially shocked because Chloe's comments don't just touch on her own journey, they hint at how the structure around her worked. Many believed her career would erupt the moment she stepped into the spotlight. She had the voice, the performance skills, and the support of a major label linked to one of the biggest stars in the world. But she says things began to shift once she realized the rules were already set, and those rules weren't written with freedom in mind. Instead, she claims they rewarded those who played along and punished those who didn't. Her sister Halle went in a different direction, and that contrast has become part of the conversation. While Chloe was trying to protect her identity and stay true to who she was, Halle moved through the system more easily. People close to the situation say this wasn't about one sister being more talented than the other. They say it was about choices. Halle accepted certain expectations, and because of that, doors opened for her. Chloe says she chose not to follow those same expectations, and that choice came with consequences she didn't anticipate. Rumors about tension between the sisters started long before Chloe spoke out. Fans noticed how differently their careers grew even though they started together. Halle landed big acting roles, major brand attention, and constant media coverage. Some insiders claim these steps were carefully planned, tied to deals and strategies meant to push her forward. They say her public relationships added to that momentum, helping shape an image the industry could easily market. Chloe didn't want to build her career that way, and according to those familiar with her experience, she stayed away from anything that felt fake or forced. This difference slowly became more visible as Chloe struggled for the same level of support. Viewers noticed the imbalance during award seasons, press events, and major rollouts, where Halle was everywhere and Chloe seemed to fade into the background. Fans started asking why someone as gifted as Chloe wasn't getting the push she deserved. When the answers came out, the story became bigger than just two sisters taking separate paths. It became a reflection of how the system treats artists who refuse to shape themselves into whatever the label wants. Money is another part of the story that shocked fans. Reports claim Chloe and Halle signed a deal worth around $1 million for 6 albums. At first, the number sounds big, but once you break it down, the situation changes. 6 albums turn that amount into roughly $166,000 per project, and since they were a duo at the time, that drops to about $83,000 each per album. In a world where studio costs, travel, styling, team payments, and promotion add up fast, that amount doesn't stretch very far. Many newcomers with no major backing earn more through independent releases. Yet Chloe and Halle were tied to a label with global reach and still struggling to benefit from it. Fans expected Parkwood Entertainment to support them with strong promotion, marketing campaigns, and the kind of push artists usually get when they're signed under such a powerful brand. But according to insiders, the support wasn't consistent. Some believe this wasn't an accident. They say the label had a pattern of controlling how fast artists rose, and only certain names received full attention. People looking closely at past signees noticed similar stories. Talented performers stuck in contracts, waiting for years, and seeing their work disappear before the world could hear it. One example often mentioned is Sophie Beam. She arrived with strong buzz and clear potential, but the label reportedly held her in a long developmental deal. After 2 years, she was released without ever putting out a major project. Her momentum disappeared before she even had a chance to build her name. Ingrid Burley dealt with something similar. She finished a whole album, and instead of releasing it, the label kept it locked up until her contract ran out. When that happened, the project was shelved altogether. Her work simply vanished. These cases left people questioning whether the label's approach was designed to control the pace of an artist's growth and decide who gets pushed and who gets paused. When fans compare these stories to what Chloe is now revealing, the patterns feel too similar to ignore. She says she wasn't willing to reshape herself for the sake of sales or public image. People close to the situation say that once she pushed back on certain expectations, her momentum began to slow, even as the world thought she was rising. Chloe's fans have always admired her confidence, her stage presence, and her powerful voice, but the truth she's describing is far less glamorous. She says she was placed in a system where success depended less on what you could do and more on what you were willing to accept. She didn't want to change who she was for attention, and according to sources, That decision cost her opportunities she would have easily earned otherwise. Meanwhile, Halle kept moving forward, appearing in blockbuster films, walking major red carpets, and landing deals that placed her in front of millions. Insiders claim these steps didn't happen out of nowhere. They were part of a structured plan, supported by a team that wanted to shape her into a perfect fit for the mainstream. Chloe didn't want to be shaped at all, and that's where the paths truly split. People watching from the outside saw two talented sisters with bright futures. What they didn't see were the differences in the deals, the expectations behind the scenes, and the long list of rules each artist was expected to follow. Chloe's choice to protect her identity meant she didn't move through the system the way others did. And now that she's speaking out, fans are realizing her struggle wasn't due to lack of effort or ability. It was due to a structure that favored compliance over honesty. Many fans have started noticing a trend when it comes to Parkwood entertainment. Only a handful of artists truly rise to the top, and most of them are connected directly to Beyonce and her family. Everyone else seems to move through a complicated system filled with slow rollouts, limited attention, and opportunities that never fully materialize. Because of this, people are beginning to believe Chloe's career slowdown isn't just unfortunate timing. It might be connected to a structure that favors those who quietly follow the rules while holding back anyone who pushes against them. When people look at Parkwood's track record, the pattern becomes clearer. The label appears to pour the majority of its resources into Beyonce and the Carters, while other artists find themselves stuck waiting for promotion, direction, or even permission to release certain projects. For many fans, this raises a serious question. Was Chloe's struggle really about lack of support from the public, or was it a result of rejecting decisions she didn't agree with? Some insiders believe her choice to stand firm may have caused her momentum to slow, simply because she refused to fall in line. For years, rumors have floated around suggesting Chloe was quietly pressured to do things she wasn't comfortable with to guarantee success. While people use dramatic phrases online, the meaning behind them is simple. Artists often feel pushed to prioritize image, strategic relationships, and publicity agreements over talent. Supporters point to examples from Chloe's early solo releases to back this up. One of the most talked about incidents happened before her debut album. She asked her followers which song they wanted first. Surprise or For the Night. Fans clearly voted for the Night, yet Surprise was released instead. According to people familiar with the situation, this wasn't her call. The label allegedly made the final decision, showing how much control these hidden arrangements can hold. All of this builds a picture of an industry where talent doesn't always come first. Chloe, who has always been praised for her voice and stage presence, seems to have faced roadblocks not because she lacked skill, but because she wouldn't give in to expectations she didn't believe in. Her sister Halle, on the other hand, appears to have accepted the industry's strategic approach, leading to smoother opportunities and faster success. Some fans believe this difference explains why one sister is constantly booked and visible, while the other is still fighting for consistent recognition. Chloe finally addressed these challenges publicly in a live session, giving listeners a rare look into what she's dealt with. She spoke openly about the pressure behind the scenes, the kind people never see on social media or red carpets. Without directly naming anyone, she described how hard it was to maintain her values in an environment where success often depended on obeying unwritten rules. She talked about moments where she worked non-stop but still felt held back, as if something or someone was stopping her from moving forward. In that same session, she said the film Sinners reminded her of her own reality. The movie focuses on characters trying to balance their faith, ambition, and moral boundaries while dealing with pressure from powerful figures. Chloe said she related to those struggles, and fans instantly connected the dots. They saw her comments as a quiet acknowledgement of her experience with people in the industry who expected her to follow a path she didn't agree with. Her honesty struck a chord because it confirmed what many suspected. Some artists have to compromise themselves just to fit into the system. While Chloe was fighting these battles, Halle's career seemed to be rising without interruption. Sources say Halle embraced the tactics Chloe refused, which may explain her fast growth in film, music, and fashion. She booked major roles, including her breakout moment in The Little Mermaid, and kept landing high-profile appearances. To the public, it looked like everything was lining up perfectly for her, and insiders claim this wasn't coincidence. It was planning. The conversation became even louder when people started questioning Halle's relationship with DDG. Many originally thought he was benefiting from her fame, but insiders claim something very different. The relationship may have been guided by her team to raise her visibility, boost engagement, and tap into DDG's massive online influence. This kind of move isn't unusual in Hollywood, where image and attention are often treated like currency. If these claims are true, it suggests Halle's rise was supported by strategy at every level, something Chloe wasn't willing to participate in. The results speak for themselves. Halle's name is everywhere. Films, interviews, magazine covers, award shows. She's seen as one of the rising stars of her generation. Meanwhile, Chloe's releases haven't reached the numbers they were expected to hit. Her singles didn't chart as strongly as anticipated, and her album struggled to maintain traction despite her talent. The contrast has fueled deeper discussions among fans about the way the industry chooses which artists to push and which to slow down. Chloe's decision to share her experiences changed the conversation dramatically. Instead of rumors and speculation, fans now have her own words confirming that the journey wasn't as smooth as it looked. Her story shows how deals, publicity plans, and behind-the-scenes politics can shape someone's path long before the public ever hears a song. She exposed a system where success isn't always based on skill, but on how well an artist fits into a plan created by people with power. Her honesty also reveals something important. Artists who try to protect their values may end up facing consequences that have nothing to do with their music. Chloe stood firm even when it hurt her career, and that's something many fans respect. Her willingness to speak out gives other artists hope that they don't have to stay silent or pretend everything is perfect just to keep working. The contrast between Chloe and Halle makes the story even more striking. One sister is fighting for every bit of recognition, while the other seems to be lifted by the structure around her. One is praised for talent, yet held back by choices she refuses to make. The other rises quickly because she fits neatly into the system. It highlights a harsh truth about the entertainment world. Strategy often outweighs sincerity. Chloe's journey now serves as a reminder of what the industry expects from artists and what happens when someone refuses to bend. Her story encourages people to question the polished image they see online and think about what's going on behind the scenes. It shows how contracts, influence, and pressure shape careers in ways the public rarely hears about. In the end, Chloe hasn't just revealed her own struggles, she has exposed how the system operates. She's shown how easily opportunities can disappear, how deals can restrict growth, and how the industry rewards those who follow certain paths while sidelining those who don't. Her story forces fans to reconsider what success truly means in Hollywood and how much artists may sacrifice before their careers ever take off.